Pac-Man was inspired by a pizza with a slice missing. If you grew up in the 1970s and 80s, you probably remember video games like Space Invaders and Asteroids. Japanese video game designer Toru Iwatani wanted to create a game that featured eating instead of shooting things. While enjoying a pizza one day, he removed a single slice and had an idea. In 1980, Iwatani created Pac-Man. It is considered one of the most famous video games of all time. Cats are very interesting and curious creatures. They are natural, agile climbers, but sometimes things can go wrong. No problem. Cats always land on their feet. They have what is known as a righting reflex that automatically flips the body upright when they fall. The only letters that don't appear on the periodic table are J and Q. Maine is the only state with a one-syllable name. The addition of numbers on the opposite sides of dice always equals 7. The aspen grove, known as Pando in Utah, is considered the oldest and one of the largest living organisms on Earth. Unlike most trees that grow as individual plants, the aspen grove is a single organism connected by an extensive root system. Every tree or stem that appears to grow separately above ground is actually part of one massive plant. This root system is estimated to be around 80,000 years old, making it the oldest known living organism. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. A group of islands in northern Scotland are home to the shortest commercial passenger flight in the world. The Loganair Westray to Papa Westray route is only 1.7 miles, and the record for the fastest flight is 53 seconds. They probably don't offer beverage service on this flight. "1,000 is the only number from 1 to 1,000 that contains the letter A when spelled out. A group of dogs is called a pack. A group of cats is called a clowder. But what does a Kindle e-book reader have to do with cats and dogs? A group of cute kittens is sometimes called a Kindle. In 1992, Neil Papworth, a 22-year-old software programmer from the UK, sent the first ever text message from a computer to his colleague Richard Jarvis. Neil had been working as a developer and test engineer to create a short message service, SMS, for his client, Vodafone. That very first text, sent on the 3rd of December 1992, simply said, "Merry Christmas." The internet weighs about as much as a strawberry. Physicist Russell Seitz once estimated the total weight of the internet, considering the energy of all the electrons in motion during data transmission. His conclusion: the internet weighs about 50 grams, roughly the weight of a strawberry. While the concept might seem abstract, it highlights the fact that the internet, though intangible, has a physical presence. In Alabama, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church. A peculiar law in Alabama prohibits wearing a fake mustache in church if it causes laughter. This regulation is aimed at maintaining decorum during religious services. The Firefox logo wasn't always a fox. The cute furry creature in the logo was originally a red panda. Over time, though, the team behind the browser changed their tune and began to call it a fox after all. Google doesn't mow their lawn. Instead of mowing their lawn, Google rents goats to eat the grass at their Mountain View headquarters. A herder will bring 200 goats, which are herded by a border collie named Jen. At a distance of roughly 37 million miles, Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. You might think that would make it the hottest planet, but that distinction belongs to Venus. Venus is 30 million miles further from the Sun than Mercury, but it has a lot of gases in its atmosphere, which creates a greenhouse effect that causes a constant temperature of 864 degrees Fahrenheit, or 462 degrees Celsius, everywhere on the planet's surface. Does chocolate milk come from brown cows? There are more than 9 million dairy cows in the United States, and each cow will produce an average of 6 to 7 gallons of milk each day. According to a recent survey by the Innovation Center of U.S. Dairy, 48% of respondents weren't sure where chocolate milk came from. 7% thought chocolate milk only came from brown cows. That adds up to about 16.4 million people, more than the population of Ohio. Bloodhounds make very good detectives. They have an extraordinary sense of smell and are capable of tracking scents that are days old and tracking them over long distances. A bloodhound is the only dog whose evidence is admissible in court. The longest one-syllable words in the English language are scraunched and strengthed. Some suggest that squirreled could be included, but squirrel is intended to be pronounced as 2 syllables according to most dictionaries. Empire is a 1965 American black-and-white art film by Andy Warhol. The film consists of a single continuous shot of the Empire State Building over 8 hours and 5 minutes. The film has no plot, dialogue, or action, challenging traditional ideas of what cinema should be. Despite its simplicity, Empire is considered a landmark in avant-garde filmmaking and a reflection of Warhol's fascination with time and repetition. Empire premiered on March 6, 1965 at the City Hall Cinema in Manhattan. It's unclear how many people attended the premiere, but there are reports that several people asked for their money back 10 minutes into the film. In analog watch and clock advertisements, the hands almost always show the time as 10 minutes after 10. This is because of visual aesthetics and balance. Setting the hands at 10:10 keeps the hour and minute hands out of the way of the brand logo or other important design elements on the watch face. So the next time you see a watch ad, notice where the hands are pointed. How much do you know about Thomas Edison? Did you know that Edison did not actually invent the light bulb? While he did secure a patent for an improved light bulb in 1880, the first bulb was invented by James Bowman Lindsay in 1835. One of Edison's best-known inventions was the phonograph. On November 21, 1877, Thomas Edison announced the invention of the first device for recording and playing sound. The first audio ever recorded on his new phonograph was the nursery rhyme, "Mary Had a Little Lamb." Webcams capture video and audio data and transmit it in real time over the Internet. They're most commonly used for video conferencing, live streaming, and online meetings. But did you know that the first webcam was invented to monitor a coffee pot? In 1991, researchers at the University of Cambridge set up a camera to check the coffee levels in their lab's communal pot. The camera feed was shared on the early Internet, allowing researchers to avoid trips to the coffee room when the pot was empty. In 1960, Dr. Seuss began writing Green Eggs and Ham after his editor at Random House bet him $50 that he couldn't write an engaging children's book using a vocabulary of only 50 words. Dr. Seuss accepted the challenge and went to work. The 65-page book was published on August 12, 1960. The entire 786-word story was written using only these 50 unique words, with only one of them more than one syllable long.